Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're jumping into Sarajevo, the capital of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Lots of you asked for places with deep history, but also plenty to do.
Exactly. And Sarajevo really fits that bill. It's got layers upon layers.
So our mission here is to really unpack what makes Sarajevo tick, using, traveler insights and expert takes to give everyone a solid feel for the city.
Yeah, we've pulled together a list of about 12 key things, activities, sites, plus some info on where to stay. We'll focus on the real highlights.
Perfect. Whether you're actually planning a trip, or just want to sound smart talking about it, or maybe you're just curious.
We'll pull out the most memorable bits for you.
Okay, so where's the logical starting point for Sarajevo? It feels like it has to be the old town, right? Baskarcija.
Absolutely. You can't really understand Sarajevo without starting there. It's the historical and cultural center right on the north bank of the Miljacka River. It is the old bazaar.
And it goes way back, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Founded back in the 15th century by Isabeg Ishikovic. That Ottoman period really shaped it.
You can sort of feel that history just walking around, I imagine.
Definitely. The architecture tells a story. You've got landmarks like the clock tower from the 17th century.
Right, and the Gazi Huzrev Beg Mosque, that's 16th century. Looks incredible in photos.
It really is.
Yeah.
And that Sabilj fountain, the wooden one, that's 18th century, and it's become such an icon of the city.
The image you see everywhere.
Pretty much. But beyond the big landmarks, Baskarcija was, the commercial heart. And it still feels alive today.
Yeah, the sources mention it's the place for traditional souvenirs.
It is. Those narrow cobblestone streets. They're lined with little shops, artisans selling handmade crafts, copperware, jewelry. It's not just tourist junk.
Sound like a great place to just wander and get lost for a bit.
Totally. Now, if you want a completely different view, literally, you need to head up to the Yellow Fortress.
Okay, Yellow Fortress. Tell me about that. Defensive structure.
It was, yeah. Built in the 1730s, give or take, part of the defenses for the old walled city, Vratnik. It's made of this, yellowish rock.
Hence the name. Simple enough.
Right. It used to be a cannon fortress, guarding the entrance.
And now, it's more about the views, I gather.
Oh, absolutely. It's one of the spots for panoramic views of Sarajevo, especially apparently at sunset. Just breathtaking.
I can picture that. It's interesting how these places change, isn't it? From military necessity to, a beautiful viewpoint.
It really shows the city's evolution. A place for reflection now, maybe.
Okay, so shifting gears a bit. What if you're there with kids?
Then Pionirska Dolina is probably on your list. Pioneer Valley, basically.
What kind of place is it? Park?
Yeah, big recreational center, about 21 acres, up in the northeast. It's geared towards families.
So rides, playground?
Rides, playgrounds, yes. And also a small zoo. It's not, a massive international zoo, but it's got some crowd pleasers.
Like what?
Bears, lions, monkeys, even tigers, according to our info. Enough to keep kids interested.
And it sounds quite pleasant, with walking paths, animal sculptures.
Yeah, and importantly, it's really affordable. Like just a couple of Bosnian marks to get in. Great value for a family day out.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Shows the city caters to different needs. Okay, what about sports fans? Any football?
Oh, yes. FK Sarajevo. They're a big deal.
One of the top clubs in Bosnia and Herzegovina.
For sure. Usually up there in the Premier League. They've won titles, cups, played in Europe, even the Champions League qualifiers and things like that.
So can you actually go see a game easily?
Yeah, they play at the Asim Ferhatovic Hasa Olympic Stadium. It's pretty big, holds around 34,500 people.
Wow. And tickets? Expensive.
That's the surprising bit. Our sources say tickets can start from as low as 6 km.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's incredibly cheap for top-level football.
I know, right? A really accessible way to soak up some local passion.
Definitely something to consider. Okay, back to views. There's a cable car, too.
The Sarajevo cable car. Goes up Trebevic Mountain. It was actually built back in '59 originally to make the mountain more accessible.
And it gives you more amazing views.
Pretty much guarantees them. It climbs up nearly 7,000 feet in length. Takes about 9 minutes in one of the 30 gondolas.
Quick ascent, then.
Yeah. And from the top, you see everything. The whole city spread out, the mountains around it, the forests. It really gives you the lay of the land.
Sounds worth the ticket price. What was it, about 30 km return?
That's what we've got, yeah. Seems reasonable for that kind of perspective.
And once you're up Trebevic Mountain, can you do more than just ride the cable car back down?
Absolutely. Hiking is a popular option. The mountain itself is over 5,300 feet high.
That sounds like a serious climb.
Well, you can do it from the base, but lots of people hike from the cable car station to the actual summit. That's supposed to be more manageable, maybe a couple of hours on marked trails.
What's the terrain like up there?
Think pine and spruce forests. Really nice scenery. Apparently, there are even some natural hot springs you might pass.
Oh, interesting.
And the reward, obviously, is more magnificent views from the summit itself.
I also saw something about guided tours, maybe including the old Olympic bobsleigh track.
Yes, that's a fascinating, slightly eerie piece of Sarajevo's Olympic history up there. Definitely adds another layer to the hike.
Nature and history, all mixed together. Okay, let's come back down into the city. The Latin Bridge.
Ah, yes. A beautiful bridge in its own right, Ottoman era, 16th century, crosses the Miljacka River.
Lovely views from the bridge itself, I assume.
For sure, cityscape, the river, but the Latin Bridge is, well, it's famous for something else entirely, isn't it?
The assassination.
Exactly. Right near the northern end of that bridge is where Gavrilo Princip shot Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria in 1914.
The event that triggered World War I. Standing there must feel significant.
Immense historical weight. It really connects you to a huge turning point in world history. It's more than just a bridge.
Definitely. Now, for something completely different, but also linked to Sarajevo's history, this Ikar canned beef monument.
Yeah, it sounds a bit strange, doesn't it? A sculpture of a can of corned beef about 3 feet tall.
It's certainly unique. What's the story there?
It's a memorial, but a very pointed one, relating to the siege of Sarajevo in the 90s.
Okay.
During the siege, there was this massive, long-running humanitarian airlift. But a lot of the food dropped, particularly this Ikar brand canned beef, was apparently terrible quality. Some of it was even expired, like leftovers from the Vietnam War era, believe it or not.
Wow. So the monument isn't exactly celebrating the aid.
Not at all. It's more of a darkly humorous, I suppose, symbol of the shortcomings, the failures, maybe even the indignity of some of that humanitarian aid during a desperate time.
That's powerful, actually. A very Sarajevan way of remembering, perhaps.
I think so. It doesn't shy away from the difficult truths.
Which brings us to another site of remembrance, but a much more somber one. Gallery 10795.
Yes. This is a very important place. It's Bosnia and Herzegovina's first memorial gallery dedicated to the Srebrenica genocide.
Where over 8,000 Bosniak Muslim men and boys were killed during the Bosnian War.
That's right. The gallery documents the genocide and its aftermath. Uses photographs, videos, audio testimonies, maps.
Our sources describe it as hard-hitting, obviously,
Yeah.
but essential for understanding that tragic part of recent history.
Absolutely. It's meant to educate and ensure it's never forgotten. It's open daily, and there's an entrance fee, about 15 kilolemon.
A necessary visit for anyone wanting to grasp the full context of the war.
And sticking with the siege theme, there's the Tunnel of Salvation, or the Tunnel of Hope.
Right, the tunnel built under the airport runway during the siege.
Exactly. Constructed in secret in 1993, it was a lifeline connecting besieged Sarajevo to Bosnian-held territory outside. It allowed food, supplies, soldiers, and even civilians to get in and out.
And you can actually visit it now?
You can visit a part of it, yes. On the Butmir side, you can walk through a section of the original tunnel, maybe 80 feet or so, plus a reconstructed bit.
Must be an incredible experience.
Really brings home the conditions people lived under. There's also a museum there now.
What does the museum show?
It focuses on the siege, the tunnel's history. It even has examples of that infamous canned food we were talking about. It gives real insight into the resilience and suffering of Sarajevans.
Wow. Okay, let's lighten the mood slightly. If the kids need pure fun after all that history.
There's Playland.
Yeah.
It's inside the Sarajevo City Center shopping mall.
An indoor amusement park.
Yeah, pretty big one. Apparently
Wow.
inspired by a massive one in Istanbul. It's got 2 floors of stuff, ball pit slides, arcade games, the works.
Smells like a good energy burner.
Yeah.
How does it work? Pay per ride.
You can buy tokens or just pay an hourly rate. Around 10 kilometers per hour gives families options.
Useful to know if you need a break from sightseeing. And finally, one more spot for shopping, but maybe more traditional than the mall. Kazanjiluk.
Ah, yes, Coppersmith Street. It's considered the oldest street in Sarajevo, dates back to the 16th century, a real hub of craft and trade historically.
Still busy today?
Very much so, apparently. It's got this great atmosphere, lots of quaint shops and stalls.
What kind of things do they sell?
Yeah.
More souvenirs?
Yes, but the focus is really on authentic handicrafts, especially copper goods like traditional coffee pots, trays, often hand-painted, also jewelry. It's less generic tourist stuff, more quality craftsmanship.
Sounds like the perfect place to just wander, browse, maybe pick up something really unique.
Exactly. Just exploring the little shops and stalls is part of the experience.
So wrapping this up, It feels like we've really touched on the incredible variety Sarajevo offers.
I think so. From the deep history of Baskarcija and the poignant views from the Yellow Fortress.
To family fun at Pionirska Dolina, the passion of an FK Sarajevo match.
And then those incredibly powerful sites of remembrance like Gallery 110795 and the Tunnel of Salvation.
You really get a sense of the city's resilience, its culture, the beauty that exists alongside, and sometimes because of its complex past.
Hopefully this deep dive has, piqued people's interest even more. Maybe one particular place resonated.
Perhaps thinking about that Ikar monument or imagining the cable car view now.
Yeah, it makes you think, doesn't it?
It really does. I guess the final thought is just how amazing it is that one city can hold so much. Ottoman foundations, Olympic Games, a devastating modern siege, and still feel so vibrant and welcoming today.
Makes you wonder what other stories are still there just waiting beneath the surface.
Exactly. What else is waiting to be discovered in Sarajevo?